What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we're going to take a deep dive on how to land more expired listings. And in this market, this is one skill you want to make sure you master. Stay tuned for the next episode of the HyperFast Show. At the end of 2022, you heard me start to talk more about expired listings, right? I think there's a massive opportunity there, and I've seen this play out in a couple different markets with agents in our group now, and the ones that have listened have succeeded at getting more opportunities in front of sellers. So what has happened to create this massive opportunity? Well, a lot of people that were good at expired listings quit doing it when the market got easy in 2020 and 2021, and as a result, there's less agents doing it, and now all of a sudden, with the slowdown in the market, we have more expired listings. So there's more of them, less people hunting them, which spells opportunity. So step one, you got to get in front of them, right? You have to get in front of expired sellers if you want to get expired listings. How do you do that? Well, the easiest, most effective way I think to do it is to call. Spend an hour or two a day. Pull the list, get something like RedX, Mojo, Vulcan Dialer. There's plenty of programs out there. Pull the list and call. Do it for an hour. Do it for 2 hours. Set a goal every day. You're going to talk to X amount of people, live conversations. You're going to book X amount of appointments, and don't stop until that happens, right? So call every morning. Another element you can add is, if there's certain neighborhoods that you really want to get business in, is go out and door knock. When you door knock, make sure you have a leave behind, right? You realize a lot of people are doing this, but so it's just a numbers game, right? If you're consistent and you do this, you make the calls, you knock on doors, you are going to get more opportunities. And the third way to get in front of people is to get them to call you. How do you do that? Well, you start marketing. So as you get expired listings, start telling the story. Better yet, start having the sellers tell the story about, how they listed their home, it didn't work out, maybe with one or two other agents, then they, met you, and voila, you made it happen, right? So when you have success, you can start to tell that story, and you can start to, get people to call you, all right? You can start doing ads that say like, I'm Dan Lesniak, and I specialize in selling homes that didn't sell the first time, right? You can put out this type of content and imaging, and you're gonna get sellers calling you before other people have the chance to call them. So you got to get in front of people. Now, what do you do when you get in front of them? When you get an appointment? Well, you have to ask the right questions, right? The people that ask the right questions in conversations are going to control the conversation and have the best results. When it comes to expired listings, you need to find out timing and motivation, right? Those are the two biggest things you need to find out front. So Mr. and Mr. Seller, or Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I see that your property was on the market. It didn't sell. It's such a great looking home. Can I ask you why you're selling it, right? That's a great way to ask them why they're selling it. So then they tell you why, like, well, we want to retire, move to Arizona. Okay, great. Let me ask you something. If the right offer came along and the right price and the right terms, what would be the ideal date for you to move, right? Get the timing to go along with the motivation. They tell you 30 days, 60 days, or, they want to be down there for golf season that starts in 90 days, whatever it is, right? So you're going to get the timing, you're going to get the motivation. And then I think the next question to ask is, why do you think it didn't sell? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is a great home, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to have it. Let me ask you something. Why do you think it didn't sell the first time it was listed? Right? So you want to know, this is your way of asking them to tell you what kind of things they didn't like, and you're going to agree with them and address those issues, right? So now that you have their timing, you have their motivation, you have what didn't work for them the first time, you can package that all together and tell them, like, look, I understand, you want to get to Arizona, to your next phase in life, retirement, whatever it is. I want to help you get there in the next 60 days so you can be there for the entire golf season. I understand, you think that your house didn't sell the first time because the agent didn't get enough people at the open houses. Are you interested in learning about a plan I have that will get you more exposure to online buyers? And by marketing to my database, we'll get more people into your open house so that we can get you to Arizona in the next 60 days. How does that sound, right? So, once you know timing, motivation, what they think went wrong the first time, you can package that all together to get them to be acceptable or accepting of a business plan you have to meet their goals. Now, the third part of all of this, right? It's not enough just to get the listing. You got to get the listing at the right price. So you have to know your numbers. You have to know what sold recently, what didn't sell recently, and what the active competition is, right? So you have to have all of that. And, more likely than not, homes that didn't sell the first time were overpriced. We all know that, right? So you need a strategy to use the data to get them to accept the right price. Now, what do you do if, you think the market's at 500 and they want to be at 550? Well, you don't want them to just, move on to the agent that tells them 550. So you want to advocate using the data for the 500 mark, right? For what you think it will sell for. If they're stuck on 550, you can say, look, I understand, you want to get the most money for your house. I do too, because the better I do, the more, clients I'm going to get in the future, right? If I can get the best results. What makes you think it's worth 550 when these houses sold for 500, right? So get them to say that. A lot of times, they'll talk themselves into your price. If not, right, if you can't get the price at the right listing, get a plan to get there. So what do I mean by that? Well, you can tell them, look, I do a lot of great marketing. It's going to get people in here. If in the first 2 weeks we don't have an offer or 15 showings, right, whatever criteria is normal for your market, can we agree in writing to drop it by 25,000 to 525, and then give it 2 weeks at that price, and then drop it to 499, right? So you have a plan within 30 days to get to the right price. So if you're not going to get the listing at the right price, have a written plan that you talk about up front to get it to the right price. Now, after you get the listing, you start doing your marketing. It is important to communicate with them constantly, right? You need to have a weekly update routine that you establish beforehand, and you have to communicate what you're doing on the marketing side. So how many online views is it getting, right? How many emails did you put it on? How did you promote it on social media? All of the things that you're probably doing already, you need to come up with a plan to communicate with them, because if they don't know that you're doing that, it's just as good as if you're not doing it. So those are all the elements that you need to get in front of expired listings, get their confidence in you as someone that can achieve their goals, get it at the right price or get it to the right price, and then keep the listing once you have it, active. If you can put all of that together, you're going to get more listings, which in this market means a lot more success. Because we all know right now, more than ever, the agents that can build listing inventory are the ones that are going to have a better 2023. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast show. I'd like to also mention right now that if you're a real estate agent out there looking for more coaching, more training, more mentoring, Carrie Shaw and I are offering that to the people that join us at eXp Realty. We've had new agents join, solo agents, team leaders, independent brokerages, right? They come in, they get access to our training, they get access to another nationally recognized coaching program that we're partnered with. They get on weekly Zooms with myself and Carrie, and we teach the agents in our group how to grow their business, how to take advantage of the revenue share opportunity at eXp. So if you want to learn more about joining eXp with me and Carrie Shaw as your sponsor, send me a text message at 703-638-4393. Again, I would be honored to have a talk with you about joining eXp Realty. Just send me a text message at 703-638-4393. 888-4393. Thanks for tuning in to the HyperFast Show. We'll see you next time.